Hey guys, how's it going? Companion here. Today I want to talk about a card that's kind of been one of those very iffy cards. It seems pretty good in some situations in Arena, and it seems maybe it'll have some kind of role in Constructed. At least that was the original impression before TGT ended up coming out. It is the Silver Hand Regent, and it is a very interesting card. It is a card that well has a pretty minor effect, but it is fairly early in the game that you can kind of just compensate for not having a good early game drop. So it's made a little bit of a difference in Constructed. Some people were running this card in Paladin because some of the Paladin related synergies with dropping more dudes, and in Arena it's made a bit of a subtle impact. So I got a lot of experience playing this card in Constructed to start. I put one of them in my Paladin deck because while there is some direct synergy from the Paladin cards, you can amplify your Silverhand recruits. Because if you play this and you use your Paladin hero power, you get your Silverhand recruit from the hero power, plus you get the one from the Inspired trigger of having this card in play. So you get two 1/1 Silverhand recruits, and they are the exact same type of unit. So they are both affected by cards like Quartermaster, which is pretty nice, and of course cards like Warhorse Trainer, which was again released in TGT. Warhorse Trainer didn't really make much of an appearance really ever. It's not a bad card, it just doesn't seem to work out really that well. But however, Quartermaster being a card, it does kind of work with Silverhand Regent fairly well. Paladin was also lacking 3-drops that you just slam down, and, well, doesn't really help too much. The reality was that this card just doesn't fit too good of a role. Paladin is, a fairly good mid-range slash control deck, and it's also a really good hyper-aggressive deck with Divine Favor. And the main problem, the reason this card really hasn't lasted past like the first few days of TGT experimentation in the constructed format is because it's Paladin's polarized, and this card is like right in its spot where it doesn't need to be. Cards in Divine Favor, combo, Mysterious Challenger type of Secret Paladin, super aggressive face decks. This card is too slow. It's all right if you just have it in. You get some triggers in the late game, but it's not consistent enough in the early game. It clogs your hand for Divine Favor, and it just doesn't fit that role. And in the slower decks, well, they're just better cards. Some people are running cards like Murloc Knight for basically the same effect, where it's just 1 mana more, and in the slower type of Paladin deck, you do have a lot of comeback mechanics. So just because of that, it doesn't seem too much constructed play, unfortunately. If we see cards that synergize with the Silverhand recruits more in the future, it might actually see some play then. Or if some cards really encourage the Paladin to play a very mid-rangey, but not too controlling and not too aggressive type of playstyle, we might also see this card make an appearance in the future. But for now, it just doesn't fit the game. In Arena, it's a very interesting card because, when you play Paladin, it does have actually an added effect. In Arena, you kind of have to understand that there aren't too many board clears, there aren't too many things that deal with too many little dudes. So my point is that the Inspire trigger, while you get a 1/1 for every class that you use it under, on one hand you have the fact that some hero powers generate more tempo, more value than others. Like, if you have this card in a Warrior, it's much worse than if you have it in a Paladin. Even if you don't have synergistic Paladin cards, it's really easy to kill a 1/1. If you're a mage, you just take it down. But if you're a mage and they spawn two 1/1s a turn, it's kind of like the Justicar Trueheart effect. Two 1/1s are more than twice as powerful than one 1/1, and that seems kind of weird, but that's kind of how Hearthstone works, especially in Paladin, which is a fairly snowbally class. So the Silverhand Regent is actually good enough to basically be a 5-drop in Arena. So if you have the flexibility for the 3 in desperate measures, it's good for the 5, and it just is annoying enough in the late game. It's not quite as strong as Murloc Knight for, contesting that kind of role, but it is still pretty good. It is still good enough. And the really interesting thing is there's a lot of other classes that your opponents will often try to exploit the fact that you don't have 1 damage and continuously play cards that really punish that class. So for instance, the clips that I'm going to show you guys that are really going to highlight the true strength of this card in Arena are classes that don't have the 1 damage hero power, but also are classes that, don't have 0 tempo hero powers, like, not warrior, not hunter. So in my case, I ended up drafting a priest deck with 3 silver hand regents, and my opponents just couldn't deal with the 1/1s. They couldn't deal with that value, and often as a comeback against the priest or these type of classes, you would play a card with Divine Shield. You'd play these cards that just are kind of difficult to deal with. But suddenly, when you have all these 1/1s and you have the board dominance to actually use your hero power for value, and you get the 1/1s worth of value, as a priest, for instance, you're getting basically at least a 2-drop worth of value just from your hero power, because you heal 2 health and you get a 1/1. So, it really gets out of control, and it sets up a situation where this card has some really powerful plays and is just an absolute priority for your opponent to get rid of. So it changes the game, but it is such a simple card, it is such a harmless looking card that you wouldn't think so when you're drafting it. So I think, some of the Arena websites out there, some of the people have a lower impression of this card than it actually impacts the game, specifically in these classes that, don't have a great hero power, but it's not too bad. And they can make use of all these 1/1s in, fantastic display of value. So enjoy the games. Try the card out next time you're playing Arena. It's a very flexible card. You will not feel bad for getting it. It's good on 3, it's good on 5, it's good whenever, and it really helps out some of the mid-rangey classes that have been struggling recently in Arena. So give it a try, check out the clips, enjoy, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, we go second. At least we probably get a better opener, which has really been why I've been losing all these games. Oh, not bad. Yeah, my aim was pretty good on that.
Reporting for duty.
Wanna blow something up?
Yeah, not too bad. Most of this damage doesn't matter because heal the shit out of it.
Clobbering time. The damned stand ready. Follow the rules. My fate is sealed.
Ooh, yeah, you got it.
Follow the rules.
Did someone say bomb?
Bad, bad, bad. Oh, oh, oh! Mag-fucking-nificent. Thank you, Mr. Bomber. That almost makes up for losing me the game earlier.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Kaboom!
My fate is sealed.
Never lucky.
You know they handle.
Reporting
He's
for
actually going for the greed trade? That just seems like a bad idea. I guess I can't defend this guy. But then this guy's super huge.
Well met. Well met.
Well met, boys.
the victory is yours.
I guess he wasn't too fond of getting 3 dudes a turn. Warrior, wow. Actually in good shape against the warrior.
The light shall bring victory.
It's a pretty greedy keep, but all these cards work together pretty well. Just like that a lot. That kind of sucks.
Stand ready.
I mean, really the worst shit that could happen is he has an ogre war maul. Right?
My work is paramount. Leave me alone.
Should I have villains? Nah, this is pretty good.
In the light's name.
My fate is sealed.
Loses to Death's Bite. But that's it.
My fate is sealed.
And he doesn't have Death's Bite, so now he needs Arcanite Reaper. Oh, don't you fucking do this again. Yes! We did it, boys. Fuck that piece of crap. Shouldn't need that.
Well met.
My fate is sealed. Reporting for duty.
Casino Stone, boys. Roll the dice! Oh, that's not bad. It's actually really bad if it hits on a 1-1 here. Oh, Casino Stone! We run the cleanest casinos here, guys.
Well met.
The battle.
Jesus. This card is hilarious.
Well played.
Is he gonna concede now?
They are banned to my command.
Oh, shit.
Let us see if this
Be purged. Be purged.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. The battle.
Man, that board is so symmetrical. It actually makes me so happy.
let's get
The
busy.
battle. The battle. Reporting for duty. The battle.
Ready, sir.
Be purged.
Okay. Well, Warrior's weakness is Paladin. And Priest. And we just fucking combined them. Alright. That's pretty cool, man.